Hi, it's Gadget UK here again, back with Dreamcast. So this was actually the first thing to show on my channel. It's an awful video. Yeah, it is pretty bad, and it goes on pretty long. It's like almost, I don't know, an hour and a half, 2 hours long. It's an incredibly long video. But anyway, yeah, this is the Dreamcast. I'm not sure if they had a blue LED, whether I changed that. I honestly can't remember. I do have a second one of these. This is the one that's got, it had a tiny split there in the case, but yeah, I got this working good as new. But what we're looking at in this video is a Dreamcast steering wheel. So you can see, I think it's an official one. It's got the Dreamcast logo and stuff down there. It's got the same colour, sort of standard as you expect on some of these Sega things with the orange buttons. You can see the Sega sticker under there. It's HKT-7430, made in China. So apparently this is faulty. I'll show you this game. Hang on. Yeah, so this is F355 Challenge. You can actually see it sort of on the screen there on the VMU. And I'm using the normal controller, so I'll just choose retry. And I just want to show you what this is like really with the standard control pad, because yeah, it's a bit hard to steer. What I do like about the Dreamcast, same as the Saturn, they used what's they called, Hall effect sensors, didn't they? So it's like the pretty resilient sticks. But the analog stick, you can see I'm wobbling a little bit from side to side because it's really sensitive. You just need to press it a little bit to steer quite a lot actually. So yeah, I can control it okay, but there is a bit of, as you can see there, a bit of left, right. So it's going to be interesting to see what it's like with the steering wheel. Bear in mind the steering wheel is supposed to be faulty. Anyway, that's pretty cool. I like the speed it throws the road up. Oh, hit the side there. So I've got the cable here. Let's just plug it in. You shouldn't do this while it's on. There's a fuse you can blow, which I believe I had to replace on this. It's quite a common thing. And we've got the steering wheel here. I'm just going to try it. Yeah, steering is doing nothing. Is there a D-pad on this? No, there isn't. Yeah, the interesting thing here is the controller just does nothing. Now, I'm not sure if you're supposed to have the normal controller in one port and then this in another. Because other than a few buttons and trigger buttons and stuff, there's no way to control. You know, you've not got like an up-down thing going on here. The buttons are doing nothing. But I mean, that could be the fault. So let's try just unplugging it. Plug it into port B. Plug this into port A. So as soon as that loads again, we'll try again. I've got the main controller in port A. I don't know if there's something specific we need to do here to enable the controller. Let's just try pressing the start button on the steering wheel. Nothing. So, I don't know. Let's try the first port again. So I'm unplugging the main control, plugging the steering wheel into the other port. I am wondering if this game even supports it. But you know, I'd kind of expect the start button here to start it, and it isn't doing. So, I don't know, maybe it's a controller issue. I'm just going to move the cable around here. And of course, it could be corroded. I even wonder if there's a fuse or something inside. I think what we'll do is we'll try and get some contact cleaner in there just in case it's a wee bit of corrosion on that to start with. So I'm sorry it's not focusing very well. I'll just get a wee bit of contact cleaner in there. And I'll just plug that back in a couple of times I think. And try it start here. Nope, nothing. So yeah, it's not recognising it at all. Right, I think the next thing we'll do is tear the thing down actually. And I guess another useful test to do here is to insert and remove the VMU. Just listen. So it's got power, but we're just kind of getting a faded screen, and obviously the buttons are doing nothing. And it could be this game just doesn't support it, but I'd kind of expect the VMU to come up with something here. You know, what the game is. So that's interesting. I also probably going to need to, well, I haven't even pulled the tab out there, look, the battery's not even enabled on that. I like that green one, it's nice, isn't it? You get so many different ones of these. I've got a bunch of different ones. try and unplug the cable again. Yeah, so it's got power, but little else. The screen is kind of faded there. So I'll research that game in a minute, but you know what? We need to go in here anyway, so let's just start to undo the screws. 4 screws on the base here. Hopefully that may reveal something inside, assuming there is something wrong with it. It may just need a new cable. Now, if that is the case, I'm not really sure how to go about dealing with that. I mean, I could try and fix the cable. I could alternatively just take one from some of the Dreamcast controller. And that might be the answer. I mean, Dreamcast controllers are so blown resilient, but if you get one where it's, I don't know, smashed, it's got some damage to the shell or something like that, that might be a good use. Anyway, let me try and get this out now, don't I? So yeah, just lifting it there like that. You can see it's coming off. Oh my goodness, that's dusty. So yeah, very, very simple inside. Yeah, I was kind of expecting, see these elasticy bits, it's like an elastic cord, that's the thing that self-centers it, yeah? Often that will need replacing, but that doesn't seem to be the issue, does it? It doesn't even seem to be communicating, so this PCB here, I think, is our first point of interest here. The interesting thing is it's screwed in here, yeah? So this plastic piece must somehow come out, yeah, and I see a mount down there, I'm not sure you can see it. Just in here there's a screw mount, I think, so if we just get the... And it kind of looks like it supports the area where the VMU goes. I'm not sure where that screw just went. Oh, it's down there. Got it. Is there any more screws here? Can't really see what's holding that in. Yeah, I can't really see anything else holding that. Oh, the VMU's in, obviously. Let's just take the VMU out. That'll be what's holding it in. So then maybe this... Nope, still isn't free. Oh, there's another screw here. Oh, and another screw there. Yeah, this is the thing. Right, I'm just going to get the wrist strap on. Yeah, wrist strap is on. Let's just now carefully pull this. There's a big piece of fluff there. So it's a really simple PCB. It disconnects here, 3 JST connectors. So I think we'll disconnect those actually. You can't get them around the wrong way because they're all different sizes. We've got a 4-pin one. One that's got 8 or 9 pins on it, I think. Just rock it. You don't want to break the wires off. Shouldn't really pull it by the wires. I always get people complaining about when I do that. There we go, so that's that PCB off. So what we can do now is just undo these 2 screws and have a look at the PCB. So I think what I'll do is just put this on the floor, and we've got it on the bench there. Let's just take these 2 screws out here. I mean, we'll clean this stuff up while we're at it, and then I'll perhaps go research and probably find that game doesn't work with this one or something. There we go. So there is our PCB. Yeah, that cap there, looks like that may have leaked, I think. Alright, you're on macro, yeah, caps have leaked. So if you look at the left hand side of that cap there, it's a bit questionable. And its right hand side, sorry the lighting is not so great just there. Look at this one here there. Can you see the pad there? It's grey green, and it's probably the same on this side here. Again, the light is not great. Let's just put a spotlight on that as well. So the PCB in general is alright, but yeah, it's this left and right hand side of this cap here, and this one. So I think the next thing I'll do is remove these 2 caps. I'll see what size they are first. We'll replace them, we'll clean up around, and see if anything else around here needs a reflow or something, because there could be, you know, some little caps and resistors. Maybe something there is affected negatively by the alkaline. So I'll just add a little bit of fresh solder here and try and get these off. Yeah, it's this side here, I'm not sure you can even see it very well from there, but like this one here is super greeny. So the bands are both to, you know, nearest to me here, the black bands. I can't see that having caused any corrosion around there actually, you know, it looks fine. But yeah, straight away, I can smell fishy smell. Oh wow. Yeah, that is like not even joining. I think what I'm going to do here, because there's such small caps, there's a risk in doing this, and the solder points are tiny. I am going to cut the can as low down as possible, pressing straight down like that. They're both 10 microfarad, these, by the way. The reason I'm doing this, not twisting, well, there's still a risk cutting like this. There is still a risk cutting like this, but you press straight down the middle and try and snip towards the middle like that. Then the tops of the cans come off, and then often this will come over. If you just gently persuade it, you may need to even just strain it out somewhat, like that. It will come over. Yeah, so hopefully you saw me straighten that. I just squeezed it a bit with the pliers. Yeah, this should come over the legs, and it should just be the pads left on the board. Yeah, there we go, it's come off, look. Now you do get any remnants of electrolyte. You can see the bits falling out there. So we've just got the legs here. We'll do exactly the same with that one. It just saves applying extra heat to those pads. I don't want to get the hot air onto it, but I could do. And I could use 2 soldering irons, as if you've seen me use in the past on the CD32 recap for Mainmeister. So yeah, all those bits of plastic and rubbish there, and you can see we've just got the legs left in place there. So let's now just try and remove those. So we'll just add some solder here. Oh god, that stinks, really stinks. There we go, that's that one off. I'm just going to jab it into the braid there to get rid of it, and yeah, that's okay. And the next one, yeah, that one's come off as well. Get some braid onto that in a second. So just the one down here now. As I said, they're both 10 mic, so I'm just going to see what I've got in the way of 10 microfarad caps. It's not that essential you replace the exact same size, to be honest. Like if I haven't got 10s, 22s in that position, will be fine. There we go, that's come off as well. So let's now just get some braid onto there. So yeah, we'll just heat with some braid. Of course, we may lose the pads here. There may even be no pad left, I don't know. Oh, it's just a horrible black charred mess there. I've moved you back a tiny bit there, just so that it doesn't defocus too much. I'll just carefully clean around there. You can definitely see though where the corrosion's had an effect on this side over here, and it really smells fishy. So yeah, what is going on with that pad there? That's awful. I mean, the pads are intact. It's surprising how resilient those have been. Let's do the one up here. Just being gentle. Again, super fishy. That's not bad actually. Well, the next thing I will do is just use the fiberglass pencil around this area, just gently, like this, and on these things nearby. And then we can inspect and just see what we see really. I mean, I looked at these things up close a minute ago and they look fine. So, I mean, I don't think this is going to be causing us our issue. The only scenario I can see what it would do is perhaps if the Dreamcast is detecting some sort of power issue. Let's say they've gone really low. Let's say they'd almost turned into a short or something like that. I don't know. And it was affecting a power rail there. Maybe, but you don't tend to find they go like that. They go high ESR, you know, they turn to a larger resistor rather than a short. Sort of clean up there for good measure. And we'll toothbrush this down in a sec. Now there are a few wires there, so you never know, maybe it's just a bad wire. Maybe like one of the power rails isn't getting to the chip or something. Yeah, so hopefully you agree that's a bit better. So I'm just going to inspect off camera with magnification, and I'll report back in a sec. Right, so these pads down here, they still need a fair bit of work actually, they're still pretty greeny. So I'm just going to get a wee bit of flux there and exercise and just slide the braid around that area a little bit. If you do this too much, with too much heat, obviously you will lose the pads. Yeah, that pad there feels loose, I think, unless I'm seeing things. Right, let's just clean that again. Not sure if that right hand one is detached a little bit. It's very hard to tell. Let's get a clean cotton bud. Yeah, it's still looking a bit dirty. So I think we'll just fiberglass brush that and give it another wipe. That's far better. So yeah, I don't see any interference around here, any of these small components, there are just nothing affected at all. The only thing I can see is where this cap is, obviously got a wire for each side of that cap, and obviously they go through to this side. So I'm just going to test on connectivity to make sure we've got connectivity through. So yeah, this is the fiddly bit, because it's a case of putting it on the wire. This is where you need fine probes as well. Yeah, put it on the wire, turn the PCB over, and yeah, measure. That's working. So let's try the top one. So we'll try the top one with the other pad, and yeah, that's going through as well. So even the wires are okay there. So let's just get two new caps. Let's fit them on. Black band to the left hand side on both of them. I may have used these caps when I did the Mega CD recap actually. Yeah, 10 microfarad, 16 volt. They're exactly the right physical size, these, so let's go with those, I think. The bench is getting in a mess here already. It's like I'm so used to working on the floor. I really miss the carpet. It's really hard to film as well because the camera's at a really weird angle, and I'm having to keep checking the screen all the time, and inevitably I'm not filming perhaps all the best angles. So yeah, band to the left, and yeah, I'm just gonna try and adjust this by eye here, like that, I think. And then we'll just solder a side at a time. So I'll start on this side here, and you can see it's moved. This is the joy of working with such small components. And I'm just going to rotate that a wee bit, I think. Let me just inspect that. Actually, that sort of just pulled itself into the right place. There's just enough of a gap on this side here now to just get the iron in here, I think. So well, let's just rotate it that way. Oh, sorry, you can't really see very much. I can't really see from here. I'll just get onto the pad there and just add some solder. I think that's it. Just wipe the solder off the tip, just come in at a high angle, sharp angle like that. And I just need to inspect that to make sure that's okay. Yeah, not sure if that's going to focus very well from there, but yeah, that's one on. So let's get the next one into position here. It doesn't help that my screwdriver is magnetic. Not only is the screwdriver magnetic, but my hands are sticking to the blooming thing. So yeah, let's just do exactly the same thing. Let's just come in onto the edge here. Quite a large amount, there we go. And then we're probably going to need to push it, because it's it's slipped down this way a fair bit past the end of the pad. Up. That's almost right. The key here obviously is There we go, not eating too long. That's it, I think. Yeah, that's fine. There's quite a lot of the pad exposed on this side here, so this should be pretty easy. This solder contains flux before anybody starts complaining, because someone always does. Someone says, what, no dedicated flux? What on earth, how do you solder without that? It's because you use solder that contains flux. And then, yeah, sometimes there's advantage in adding a dedicated flux afterwards to reflow it to a nice point, but yeah, that's on there. So all we need to do now is clean up, inspect. I could do some measurements on the cable, but I'm sort of inclined to just loosely connect it all back up to the cable and stuff, and then plug it back into the Dreamcast and see if there's any more signs of life. It could be that that IC there's completely died as a result of something, not necessarily the leakage. This leakage could have happened, you know, years after someone put it into storage because it stopped working. It could just be a dead MCU there, and that's what it's going to be. It's going to be like a custom, you know, bespoke little controller IC. It's going to be taking the analog and the digital inputs and then just like communicating out using whatever protocol they use on the Dreamcast there. It's going to be some sort of serial thing. There's going to be a clock and receive and a transmit, probably. I'm guessing. It could even be USB, because I know the port on the back of the Dreamcast is like a comms port, isn't there? And it's a USB. Effectively, it's like an early implementation of USB. Let's just see if we can get in an angle. And I think what we'll do here, we'll do what I said I was going to do, which is to just brush around it. So I'll get a piece of paper towel there, bring in the IPA and a toothbrush, and have a bit of a scrub around. And around the MCU, why not? If any electrolyte did get anywhere silly, that could be the answer. Because electrolyte is, you know, it's conductive. It's not just corrosive and damages the board, but actually it conducts. You get, well, as you would expect, you know, it's part of a capacitor. You get capacitance when it's actually there with the plates in between, or the dielectric material or whatever, but the liquid, you know, the oil or whatever that's in there is conductive. So there's another cap down here, but that looks alright, and it's the wet type. You don't tend to leak. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that. I think for good measure we'll clean the VMU thing here as well. That's what this black connector is. It's the VMU connector. So let's just do that. Let's just get a wee bit of IPA into there. Yeah, this table is rocking. I need to stop that somehow. Right, let's just try and dry that off. Let's just get another cotton bud on there just to assist. I'm going to be amazed if it sprung back to life now. I suspect it's going to do the same thing, and then I'm going to go, oh, it's just that game. Right, that is pretty much it, I think. So, without further ado, I'll connect this all back up, we'll power the Dreamcast on, and let's just see what happens. Right, so we're all connected up, let's hit start. I think the button is actually working, I'm not sure. Maybe not. Oh, it did, the start button worked, I think. Yeah, the start button's working. Was that it? Really? How'd you go up and down the menu? The start button worked, but yeah, that button started. What did that do? That's the back button thing. Let's try pressing the A button. Yeah, so the A button does arcade. A. So yeah, I'm actually shocked. Let's just start it. The strange thing is with a controller like this, obviously there's no D-pad, there's no pass-through or anything, so I don't know, maybe you do need a normal controller connected as well. Are there supposed to be pedals with this? Look, the accelerator's working. Oh yes. So let's try steering. Yep, steering's working. Steer both ways here. Is it self-centering? I don't know. I'm not sure, but it seems to be working. There's no force feedback or anything on this controller, I don't think. It's you know, literally the bungee cord there that gives you a bit of feedback when you steer, when you pull one way or the other. But yeah, you can see I'm certainly driving way better than I was with the pad, or controller I should say. It's not really a pad. I like it. That is really cool. I might not even sell this. I might keep this one off fixed. Yeah, I guess what I should do is go and look to see what other games may use it. I really want to be on that racing line when you go around that bend there, so I didn't really get around that bend as fast as I could. Anyway, it is working. And just so you can see, I'm not talking porkies here. This is me driving here. So the accelerator is this. I'm guessing the brake is the one on the other side. Yeah, it is. No idea what the buttons do. Let's just try pressing A. Yeah, that switches something on the car. That pulls us. B. Doesn't do anything. What about the shoulder buttons? We're running out of time here. So obviously timed this lap. Yeah, so I'm not sure what those buttons do. Yeah, anyway, it does work. Hang on. It did go down then. Why isn't it going down there? Did I press? Oh, it's the button. It's the shoulder buttons. One goes up, down. The other one doesn't do anything. B. That goes back, I think. Yeah, to start again. So yeah, it's strange the way it's implemented. But yeah, that left-hand button there, that goes down. As you can see, the cable and the PCB are just hanging out the bottom of this, by the way. And you can see the precarious test here, it's just like hanging out the back like this. So let's try and get the VMU in here. So it's going to go that way, because the hole, I'm not sure you can see my fingers through that hole there, that's where the VMU is going to light out the back. So it's going to come in here like this. So let's just carefully hold it and plug the VMU in. Let's just flip it. There you go, F355 challenge. And it is now working. Could have been a bad connection on these JSTs here, technically, but I don't know. I mean, I saw no issues, no damage, just the leaked caps. That seems to have fixed it. And it wasn't the cable, because I had a really good play around with this cable all along, you know, bending it. And that's the sort of thing you should do, you know, just do this and press a button, press a button, press a button, you know, steer, press start, as you go all the way up and down the cable, just to make sure. Don't sort of squish it, because you will damage it, but just a gentle twist or a gentle pull, you know, in one way or the other. That will rule out the cable. But yeah, anyway, we seem to be almost done, so I think we'll just vacuum. Let's just disconnect that. We'll vacuum it out next, switch the Dreamcast off. You can see there's just a bit of dust and stuff in here, so yeah, why not hoover it out. But in terms of the self-centering thing, it's self-centering fine. It goes back to the middle. So the bungee cord that goes round this here is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. The one thing I would do is get some Molycot in here, so some grease, and also get some contact cleaner, and also get some contact cleaner into that potentiometer there, just to get really nice, clean connections on that pot. And it looks like a standard potentiometer there from the points I see on it, but obviously it's got this piece of plastic here. You'd have to probably, I don't know, almost destroy the thing to get that out, probably, I think. I could be wrong. It just kind of looks all press fitted and stuff and glued. So here we are back on the floor again, ironically. There's a big lump of dust there that fell out before, so let's just vac this out. And the vacuum on its own just isn't kind of cutting it in terms of getting every single bit of dust out there. You can still see that looks a wee bit dusty, so we'll yeah, use paper towel with some IPA. And that's the VMU slot. Right, that's not bad actually, that's pretty clean. Yeah, so don't work on the carpet. I'm wearing an elastic wrist strap. It's just easy just for the moment rather than having to reposition the camera and stuff, so that's going to go that way, isn't it? Yeah, it's pretty simple. So let's just get these 2 screws in. There's even dust on that screw head there. The screw needs a vacuuming. So yeah, it fits into a little hole. Don't over tighten whatever you do. That's it. So it's all looking good. So it went this way up, didn't it? Yeah, that's right. So I've now got to try, there we go, yeah, align it with the positions there. I think we'll get these connectors back on first, because otherwise it's going to be a bit fiddly trying to get those up at the right angle. Hang on a minute. I can't remember which way around they went now. Yeah, it is that way. So that one goes in there. That one in there. The wrist strap's still on, by the way. And that one in there. That's it. And then it goes upwards. And just like the screws for the PCB, they're the ones with like a captive washer, you know, it's like a washer extended into the head of the screw. That's the 4 screws that were here. So the key here now is to try and line it with the points here. And I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do that. That's what I'm doing. There's that screw gone. It's probably easier to hold it up this way, because then we can see the actual screw mounts there. Let's do that one there, I think. Yeah, let's do that one there. Again, don't over tighten. That's it. All back together. Let's just test the VMU here, just to make sure it fits in okay. There we go. Yeah, it's a bit tight, but yeah, you kind of want it to be a little bit. Yeah, I think that's going to be fine. So final things here now. I think we'll get a wee bit of contact cleaner into the pot there, actually into the edge of it like that, and we just need to steer each way like that. The interesting thing is, can you see that wire? This wire's getting pulled there, but that could be normal. It's probably for the buttons, yeah, because all the buttons, yeah, you've got to remember all the buttons go through the centre there. So yeah, these wires could break. Let's just move that one up. There you go. So it's not hooked there. That's it. It's got free travel now. Let's just get a wee bit more in there, like that. And again, just have a bit of a go like that. Yeah, it's contact cleaner. It's not solvent. But you could get, you know, there's I think they call it deoxit fader. You could get some of that in there, and that would clean up nicely, because it's going to have a carbon, you know, resistive track there, and the wiper arms go around it to get your variable resistance, so it knows exactly which position it's in here based on resistance. It's that simple. And finally here we'll get some Molykote EM30L just at the main pivot point down here, you know, so you probably won't be able to see it for the lighting, but as this rotates, yeah, it's just this edge here. There looks to be a bit of grease there already on the, you know, the edge nearest that side there. It's a bit greasy, but it looks a bit dried. So I'm just going to get some Molykote, quite a lot like that. And you probably won't be able to see me do this, but I'm just going to get it right down there and get it all over the side of it like that. That's not where I wanted it. Yeah, and just do a wee bit of that, and then I'll clean up the excess. It doesn't matter too much, because obviously it's internal to the thing. So the final thing is to clean all this dust off. I'm going to hoover it initially, and then just wipe it with some IPA again. Yeah, I'll show you some of this undone. Can you see this like soil line here? So yeah, a bit of IPA on a toothbrush, and just a little bit of that. Now obviously you could strip this right down, and then you'll be able to wash all the parts of the sink. But yeah, this is all shooting out here as I'm doing this. But you would need to disassemble it, because obviously you've got the switches and things there and wires that lead to them, so you wouldn't want to just submerge the plastic part in water and stuff here. But hopefully you could see, just with a bit of work with the toothbrush there, you can get all that soil, well, it's actually dust, you know, it's dead skin from some child's hands of the past probably. Yeah, and it just comes out like new like that. And then we'll get some plastic polish onto wherever there are scratches on this, and some back to black, which you use for cars incidentally. We should get a car air freshener there somewhere. Yeah. You can see there's a little bit of one of the saw marks there, so again you can just, you know, use a rag with some IPA, push with your nail slightly. Be careful where you press though, because if you get onto a part of the plastic that's not that gap, you could scratch it with your nail. But yeah, that's nevertheless the way I'll do it. You can see that's pretty clean now, that chart. There's still a little bit on the edge there, so yeah, we'll just get a brush in there. There we go, it's come out. And the same thing with these buttons actually. Just dip, clean the brush first, dip into some IPA and have a little slide like that around the button and its fascia, and yeah, the A is looking immaculate there now. You might be able to see there's some dirt in that X there, so we'll do exactly, and around the cavity here. So same thing, all different angles on the fascia with a wee bit of IPA. The nice thing with IPA is obviously it evaporates, so if it does go in there and gets into contacts, within a few minutes it will have all gone away anyway. Yeah, the X is still a little bit dirty in the very corners. And we'll just have a little clean around that. That looks good as new. Some more dirt here, anyway, on the board back. So final stages of clean up here now, just cleaning the cable. And then we'll get some polish on it. You can see though, lots of dirt comes off the cable. And we'll get the back on now, I think. So it just sits like that. It's easy to do upside down, I think. Mind you, it's alright this way. So there is a scratch there, you can see. So this is one of those things where when you wipe with IPA, it can go all weird. And this is why I would use polish like this, back to black. There we are, all plugged in, cleaned up and raring to go. So yeah, we can use the thing here as well, that's interesting. Yeah, I'm not going to set the date and time. Yeah, I think it needs a new battery. I'm not sure if I thought I changed that battery. It's probably flat though, to be fair. So let's just choose play. So I mean, it's working, isn't it? That's the thing. Let's just get the VMU again. And down here. There we go. So hopefully that will come up with the game name in a sec. Hey, F355 challenge. There's a speck of dust on that screen. There's also a speck of dust there. So all cleaned up and working. So let's just start an actual race with this. It looks really nice now. It's all cleaned up and polished. It's incredibly shiny. Oh, you get commentary as well. I may have to talk over this so the music may get some sort of copyright thing. I'm not sure there was music before, I don't know, maybe there was. I just honestly can't remember. But yeah, the level of control I've got with this compared to the pad there is way better. Because you've got to steer quite a long way to get quite a lot of movement, if that makes sense, you know, quite a lot of turn. Whereas on the little stick, it's got so little travel, you hardly have to move it to get quite a lot of movement. They went to that too quick, didn't they? sure it's the final lap. I'm sure I should have finished by now. There we go. Not sure I came there. Was it third? There you go, third. Not too bad. So next up here is South Park Rally. Let's see what that looks like. I would assume this would work with lots of different controls, to be honest, because I mean, alright, you can tell the buttons work. So it should kind of just work. So I'm guessing this is kind of like Mario Kart. I don't know. Let's go with Cartman.
I am the Supreme Master.
Citizens of South Park, welcome to Rally. In case you're new to Rally Days, I'll also be explaining.
Oh, we got all the instructions.
3, 2, 1.
I'm 300 different back.
Yep, it works. Fantastic. Where's the track? I don't know where the track is. Oh, I'm so bad at this. Now the problem with this is, as you would imagine, hang on, I can't back up now. How do I back up? Oh, that's, yeah, B button. Yeah, so, yeah, it's just taking a bit to get used to the controls on this. Instead of pressing the left paddle to reverse, you press the B button. But yeah, what I was trying to say is the problem with this is the turns are so extreme like that. You've got to turn quite a lot, and because it's on my knee up, it's pretty hard. But yeah, it does work. Yeah, I could get used to this. It definitely needs to be on a flat table though. Playing on your knee, yeah, it's pretty hard with a device like this. So far behind now, where have all the other cars gone? Oh, he said, just totally messed that up. Oh, oh, that's nuts. Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing here. I go around the track the wrong way around, I think. I was trying to work out how you use your special power things. Ah, you press the X button. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so all of the controls work on this. So whether they intentionally support it or what, I don't know, but it does seem to work. Anyway, you get the idea. I'm not even driving around the track the right way around here. Anyway, you get the idea. It does work. It's like Carmageddon flashbacks here. Driving around the wrong way, trying to crash into them all. On the underside here, you can see I stuck a little rubber foot there. It just means that when it's on a table, it fits nice and flat now. So only a short video. I do hope you found that interesting. Incidentally, you know, the bungee cord that does the self-centering here, you know, the thing that gives you the resistance like that, is just a piece of bungee cord, and you can just buy that from eBay. You know, it comes in, I don't know, you can get it cut by length, so you could just get, I don't know, half a metre or a quarter of a metre or something. You could replace that bungee cord. It wouldn't be that hard to do that. But the self-centering isn't an issue. You can see it always self-censors, and it feels that way in a game as well. It doesn't pull one way or the other away from the centre line. So anyway, hopefully you found that interesting. Thank you very much for watching. We'll come back to the Dreamcast in a future video. If you'd like to support the channel, you can hit the join button on YouTube, or you can support me on Patreon or Ko-fi. Every donation, every level of support just helps the channel keep growing and keep going. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.